Hello, good afternoon, gentlemen. It's Sunday here in sunny England, although a bit of cloud now anyway. That's not England, that's Wahin behind me, by the way. Okay, so this is a nice little pop-up stream. Seems like a nice, comfortable time to do a live stream. 1 o'clock on a Sunday, UK time. I'm sitting here and I have a guest on today. Hopefully Facebook is going to be cooperative. You know, sometimes with this StreamYard this thing, you know, it sort of plays up a bit and it's not always cooperative. But I've sent it the link to a Facebook friend, Karl'S Thailand. He has a terrific channel and hopefully he will be appearing very, very soon. Okay, so anyway, oh, by the way, if you're watching this on replay, you know, as many people do, then hello, good evening, welcome, good morning, Merry Christmas, a happy Easter, season's greetings, and all the best to you. Okay, so let's get on. So let's just say hello to a few people first of all. Steady Eddie's Travels, hello. No, sorry, that's me. That is Martin Ryder. That picture looks like there's a. Which picture is that? Is that the one that comes up here? You know, whatever. Yeah, okay. Nice to hear from you, Martin. Brian Street. Oi, oi, Silla, surprise, surprise. Okay, fine and dandy, fine and dandy. James Robinson. Is that Thames Water letting out the sea? I'm not actually sure what picture you made. I've never heard this before. Chaz Brown. Hello, on Early Ed. Yeah, well, this is the Steady Eddie Travels. I usually do. I do Monday, Tuesday, and Friday at 9 p.m. UK time on the Steady Eddie Live channel, and on that channel we discuss a variety of things. We discuss all, as well as travel. We also discuss politics. You know why all politicians are all lying bastards. We discuss other things. You know, and you know all kinds of stuff. But this here is a travel channel, so hopefully Karl'S Thailand. I'll just repeat what I said a moment ago. Facebook sending the link from StreamYard to Messenger can be problematic, so we may make a couple of attempts. But hopefully Karl is going to be with us soon. Anyway, Chaz Brown, nice to hear from Patriotus One. Hello, good evening. I don't know where you are, mate. Nice to hear from you. Anyway, Dixie Normas. Hi Ed, how are you? I'm okay. I'm okay. It's Sunday afternoon in summer in England, and I'm drinking a cup of hot chocolate. I don't know if people who watch this channel know, but I'm actually teetotal now. I hate that bloody word. I hate that phrase, teetotal. It's so namby-pamby, that. It's so bloody namby-pamby, that way. I hate that word. But I've been off the booze for almost 3 months now. Anyway, let's see. Matthew Cartwright, nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear. They were asking about you the other night. People were worried. You didn't appear on the Steady Eddie Live. Hope all's well, mate. Rudolph Jacobs, nice to hear from you, mate. Ivan, nice to hear from you. I'm sure I've heard this before. London, great place to visit. Wouldn't want to live there. Okay, good afternoon. What a surprise. Okay, thanks for that. Cheers, mate. Nice to hear from you. Graham 101, nice to hear from you. BW, hello. Martin Ryder, nice haircut. I've only just done it. I got the cutter, the battery operated cutters out. I wonder the people remember my very, very first attempt at that during the lockdown. Oh my God, I was embarrassed because there was no barbers open at the time during the lockdown. I bought myself from Amazon these cutters, hair trimmers, battery operated, and I thought, well, I'm going to give it a go. Dead easy, just get the whole lot of it. Who cares anyway? Just get the whole lot of it. Little realizing that my first attempt, I then done a live stream and I came on here, and then the next minute, people were making all kinds of comments, about rats' tails and things, and I can't see it. Apparently, I left a bloody big sort of rat's tail thing at the back. How embarrassing that is. Anyway, I think I've mastered the hair trimmers now. Ivan is here. Afternoon, Eddie. I back to your live streams after my Thailand trip. Okay, good for you, mate. Good for you. Nice to hear from you. I'm going to send Karl'S Thailand a message once again, simply because it's problematic, this thing. It is problematic. Sometimes you have to make more than one attempt. Okay, here we go again. Sometimes you have to make more than one attempt. I got a minute. Let's do this again. Let's do it again. Let's make another attempt. I can't see him in the waiting room just yet. Okay, there we go. No. Let's make another attempt. Sometimes you have to make more than one attempt with this thing in order to get it through. We've had these problems before, but hopefully Karl will be appearing soon anyway. Okay, so anyway, Chris Club, I nice to hear from you. Crypto Chris, nice to hear from you. I do believe in fairies. This is what Sundays are for. Okay, nice to hear from you, anyway, mate. And what is it? Andromeda, how many times did you go to the BJ bar? Not this early in the day, mate. Martin Ryder, the picture of the harbour. The picture of the harbour, yeah, that's a picture that actually comes out. It just shows up. There's certain things I haven't mastered just yet. But when it comes up on the screen, that other one you mean, it's I think that's Gibraltar. That actually, that's actually a picture of somewhere I've never been. And someone to meet, and where you study there. Johnny B, nice to hear from you. Nice to hear from you. Johnny B, nice to hear from you. You look very fresh and haircut is on point. What is on the agenda today? Well, the agenda, hopefully, is for Karl, who does a great travel channel. Hopefully, he will appear soon. Karl is waiting for the link at the moment. There's no link yet. But I wouldn't worry about it too much. I've sent the link twice. There you go. It's very, very temperamental. I mean, StreamYards, they say you can do this, that, and the other, but you try and bloody do it, and it can be so temperamental. So Karl is in the waiting room at the moment, so we'll bring him on in a minute anyway. Madsy 78, howdy ho, Eddie, okay? Let's see, Dickie B. Dickie B, nice to hear from you, Dickie B. Nice to hear from you. I'm taking a cup of chat. Dickie B travels an awful lot, travels a hell of a lot, so good for them. Drinking the hot chocolate on a Sunday afternoon. Have you ever had the likes of it? Anyway, there's over 100 people in the chat. Karl's Thailand is fiddling about with his camera. I can see him in the waiting room there. Martin Ryder, I'm on your Facebook under a different name. Okay. Would remind me of it, mate. Would remind me of it. I'm on your Facebook under a different name. Really? Okay. It's not Nosferatu by any chance, is it? Marty C. What happens if you get the clap? Same as same as anywhere, mate. It's bloody itchy as hell. Rent boy's here, looking good. Eddie, like the haircut. Okay, there's a rent boy in the house if anyone's interested. Okay, nice to hear from you. Chaz Brown on the wagon. Teetotal, keep going, Ed. Well, I've absolutely amazed myself. I've surprised myself. I've surpassed myself. I just didn't think I could do it. I didn't think I could do it. I have made videos on the other channel, the Steady Eddie Live channel, about this subject. But yeah, it was getting ridiculous. The booze was getting ridiculous. Every night and hours, and it was just getting ridiculous. And I thought, I've got to. So when I come back from my travels early March, I'd already made me time. One more beer, one more. I've made my mind up. I'm gonna really, really attempt something I've been planning on doing for years. Attempting for years, and that is to give up the booze. At least when I'm in this country. When I'm abroad, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. But when I'm in England, the booze is just getting dreadful. So I started to wean my way off it. And lo and behold, it's now about a month later after I come back. I drank my final drop of alcohol. And now it's almost 3 months since I've touched any alcohol. I didn't think I could do it. And anyway, enough of that. Richard, oh, what a nice surprise, Ed. Okay, so hello to everyone. Hello to everybody here who's just. Sorry if I've missed out on your comments, because there are rather a lot of comments on the screen. So I won't beat about the bush any longer. We'll get Karl'S Thailand on now. Karl'S Thailand with the apostrophe. I've got to add that apostrophe. The Karl's with the apostrophe. Okay, that's the correct grammar. Okay. Karl'S Thailand has got a terrific channel. If ever you fancy going to Thailand, you think, I want to do something different. I want a bit of adventure. I want to see the wide open spaces, the mountains, all the other stuff. You cannot do better than Karl'S Thailand. He's been on this live stream before, but we liked him so much we've invited him back. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful, the one and only adventurer, the best of the Thai adventurers, the wonderful Karl'S Thailand.
How are you doing?
Nice to see you, Karl. Anyway.
Yeah. Good to see you, Eddie. Look, I've got these. I have to apologise for these things dangling around my neck. I had it all set up nicely with a good microphone and everything. I haven't done a lot of this, and I thought, well, how am I going to hear him?
Yeah. Well, it just seems to be working. Well, StreamYard is very bloody temperamental, that thing. But anyway, you're here now. So fine. Great to have you here.
Yeah. Good to chat again.
I'm drinking hot chocolate. I don't normally do daytime streams, but I might start doing them on this channel. On my other channel, Steady Eddie Live, it's always evening times, and there's something cozy about drinking a hot chocolate later. Do you know I'm teetotal now? I hate that word.
Do you know? I read that on your Facebook. And but I didn't want to ask. Because so often people say it and they fail, and you feel bad if you ask. So well done. How long is it now?
Since I actually touched a drop of any alcohol, it's getting on for 3 months now, because it was getting ridiculous, Karl. It was absolutely. Sometimes you just got to look at yourself and think to yourself, I can't go on like this. Do I want to live to a ripe old age or not? You know what I mean?
Well, you're looking better for it, Ed. You are.
Okay.
A lot of people said that, but I think they're being sincere. You do, I know, like, drink is something that you've really, especially like living in Pattaya. I remember last year, when I was working in Nick's bars, it was just incredible the amount you'd end up drinking, I can remember one night or one morning just waking up with a hangover and thinking, oh, no, I can't remember. And I was working I'd been working the night before, and I'm thinking, oh, no, I can't remember anything from 10 p.m. And it's going to be one of them mornings where I knew you meet everybody and they tell you what you did the night before. And it turned out somebody had bought me 28 beers and I'd drunk them all, plus whatever shots are going around. You know, just crazy, mate. I try to stay away from it a bit these days, Ed. Although I live in Pattaya, I prefer to spend my money on my trips to make videos, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, you know, people keep asking me the question. Okay, you're off the booze now in England, but when you're abroad next in Thailand or whatever, you're going to be off the booze then. And my answer is always the same. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. I mean, sure. I couldn't imagine walking along a beach in Thailand, a beautiful beach. That's Wahen in the background, on a sweaty day, building up a sweat, and then not having a cold beer at the end of it. But then again, I mean, I thought I'd never be able to, you know, kick the booze. I mean, Karl, you know, just to recap, I have mentioned this in videos on the other channel, but it was every single day for about 30 years, every day, never a day without any alcohol. And it's just the absurdity of it. So anyway, we're not going to talk about alcohol. Karl'S Thailand is it. I've got to remember that apostrophe, Karl. It's
that they're pain, and they apostrophes. You know, I thought that. You know, I thought, is that going to affect the algorithm? Because like everyone's going to type it in without the apostrophe, but I don't think it makes any difference.
Oh, okay. So anyway, I could put you know, Karl'S Thailand. As a matter of fact, I think I will. I'll put it on the screen. Anyway. I'll put a big banner on it with the apostrophe. Okay.
All right, Ed.
There you go. There's the banner. Okay, there's the banner. This is the channel that you should watch. Karl'S Thailand. I mean, the thing is, I mean, there's a lot to talk. And we probably talked about it on the last the last stream that we've done, which is almost that's well over a year now, was it? I was in a really scruffy little hotel in Bangkok at the time, and I think you were somewhere else. I think that was
I was in my room above A7, and of course, you know, I didn't. Yeah. He said that, you know, there was no double glazing, and there's traffic going by on Second Road all the time. And I remember, and I didn't have any lighting or anything. And I remember somebody saying, "Are you in prison or something?"
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so about your channel, Karl. I mean, I was watching a couple of videos. You know, you've revisited Koh Samui. With the essential Karl's travel is those great open spaces. I was watching your video. I mean, don't ask me to mention the names of these places. I can never ever get my tongue around them, let alone remember them. But the drone shots of the mountain with the wonderful religious figure on the top. I don't know whether he's a Buddha or whatever he is, but the actual drone shots and everything. I mean, people go to Thailand all the time, and we know we go there for a variety of things. You know, whether it's soy the cow, whether it's walking street, you know, a variety of things. But there's a big country out there, and Karl'S Thailand, check him out. Make some fantastic videos, and he shows that, you know, the older guy, and you know, I mean, we're all getting on there. The older guy can do this sort of adventure as well. I mean, so tell us a little bit about your channel. I'll stop waffling. A little bit about your channel.
Yeah, it was, you know, I started it 2-3 years ago, you know, because like one of my friends had said to me, "You should do a YouTube channel, Karl," you know, and I wasn't really big into Thailand YouTubers at that time, you know, so I knew sort of some of them by name, you know, but I didn't really, the image I had, I think I looked through a few, and the ones I found, it was all, and this is me having breakfast with the family, and now we're going to the supermarket. And I just thought, oh my God, you know, like I don't know, it's just not me, you know, I don't want to turn my life into a soap opera. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I thought that, and then it was only kind of like, it was probably a few years after he suggested it to me that I sort of thought, well, hang about, you know, like I can show him what I like doing.
Yeah, you
know, I can show them the sort of places that I really enjoy going to, you know. So I started it, and you know, I love it because I've always, you know, I've been traveling now to Thailand for 36 years. 1987 was my first visit, and you know, I was always sort of like quite adventurous. Always had like, you know, like yourself, Ed. You know, you're a traveller at heart, aren't you? You know,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, nowadays, obviously, getting on a bit, the mountains seem more and more daunting. But as long as I can still climb those steps up to the temples, there's still life yet. But it would help if I've lost a little bit of weight, not much, but a bit. But obviously, I'm hoping eventually that cutting the halos is gonna improve my physical stuff. But
it has to, Eddie. You know, I mean, like, you know, it's got to do good for your liver, and your liver's involved in so many processes. So, I mean, long term, it's got to be a good move. I don't know, you know, sort of as for getting over, I'm 60 in a few months' time, and
really.
Yeah, no, I don't. You know, I don't feel it. I mean, I do make effort to look after myself. You know, I go to the gym and walk, and obviously what I do for the channel. But you know, so far so good, mate. So far so good.
You do so much exercise anyway, don't you? I mean, when you're climbing those mountains and everything. And
it hasn't always been that way, Ed. You know, like when I moved out here this time, I don't know, about 7 years ago. You know, I did go through some periods where I got into the drinking and I put on the weight, you know, but you know, you'll be amazed even at your age, Ed, or even at our age, should I say, you can bounce back if you start doing the right things and putting the effort in.
Yeah, I think with my physical thing, I mean, I'm heavier than I look. I don't know whether it's my legs carry a lot of weight or whatever, but I think if I lost a couple of stone, if I could lose a couple of stone, that's a lot of weight. I mean, how many bags of sugar is that? That's it's a lot of weight. I think if you lose a bit of weight, if I lost a bit of weight, I think it does make you far more agile and what. So that's what I'm going to work towards.
For it.
There's a chappie who's been on this show, David R. He's Californian, and he might.
Is he the guy you interviewed last month?
Yes.
I did watch a bit of the live stream you did with him last month, so I know you're talking about,
And he has lost a hell of a. He's been determination. He didn't look really that heavy anyway, but he's lost about 3 stone, maybe 3.5 stone. Maybe he's going to lose another half a stone. He drinks his protein shakes and everything. He's done absolutely brilliantly. I mean, really, if you lose a few stone, I mean, you don't really have that kind of weight problem that others do. But if you lose a few stone, it makes a massive amount of difference. Like, you know, unleashing some of that excess baggage, isn't it?
I've been there, Eddie. I lost 55 pounds once, so you know, like I know what it's like, but you can do it, mate. You can do it.
Yeah. So anyway, of your recent adventures, which ones have you enjoyed the most?
Samui was nice, you know, because I'd just come back from that recently. I hadn't been there for 18 years, you know, and I first went there in '87, so you know, like there was no airport in those days, and you know, like the generator went out at 11 o'clock or midnight. You know, it was all, you know, it was all very different. So it was. I used to go there regular till like 2005, and then I can just remember thinking, oh, this place has changed too much. Yeah. But then I got an invitation recently. Somebody had hired out like a really nice kind of luxury villa and invited a load of their friends, and they invited me, and it was just too tempting. You know, I just thought, right. Yeah. And I loved it, mate. It was really enjoyable. You know, it was. I just deliberately went there and had a positive attitude. I didn't go there to sort of say, oh, it's not like it was in '87. I just went there with an open mind. You know, it is what it is, and it's, you know, it's a lot busier now and everything, but it's still a beautiful tropical island.
So have those kind of islands changed much since in the last 20 years? I mean, how are the changes in those? You know,
well, you know, just kind of infrastructure. You know, airports and things like that. You know, and they do tend to get more expensive, and accommodation goes up. You know, it sort of moves away from all the beach bungalows and that. But that was nice. That was fun. I went over to Koh Phangan. That was the first time I've been there for 20 years, and caught up with an old friend over there. Recent adventures. Well, I enjoyed that one you were talking about when we went to that place called Heavenly Valley or Heavenly Gorge.
Yeah.
Which is the one with the statues, you know, because it's just this mind-blowing place. And just, I swear to you, nobody knows it's there. Even half the people who live 10 miles away from it don't know it's there. You know, it's just incredible. It's got this
great drone shot as well. Great drone shot, and even
it's perfect.
I even like the shots of the monkeys in that one. Now the monkeys are they're villains. They are badass. They are bad intent. But I must admit, if you keep your distance and take some good some really nice shots of the monkeys, they look like a lot of fun. You have to. One thing I on that video, which I didn't, it never really occurred to me before. Didn't the chappie say to you, we have these dogs here because they scared off the monkeys?
Yeah, that was Brian. That was Brian said that. Yeah, the monk had said that as well down below. I asked the monk if we could have permission to go up there. I mean, I don't even know if the temple owns that property, to be honest, but it probably does in the minds of the people there. So I thought, well, I'll ask one of the monks if we can sleep up there, just so, you know, if we put some music on or something, we won't upset anybody. And I asked him just sort of straight away, like, you're being a Buddhist monk, you know, like I asked him in Thai, can we go up there and put a He just straight away goes, yes, you know, yes. And he told us the best place to go. And he said that to me. He said, you know, like, the dogs will probably come up with you, you know, like, and they're good for keeping away the monkeys. Just give them a bit of chicken if you got them or something, you know.
I was surprised at that, because I always thought some of those monkeys are so badass they wouldn't be frightened by anything.
Oh, they are bad, Ed. You know, like my friend Brian, who does a lot of stuff with me. You know, he doesn't like them. You know, but you can't trust them. But I just find you've got to be fearless with them. You know, they're very territorial, and they will bluff you. You know, if it's a narrow path, and there's a couple of on the path, you know, they won't move until they're absolute. You're absolute. You know, that you're absolutely positive you're going straight ahead. So you know, I just decide what pace I'm going to walk.
I only had one altercation with the monkeys. It was at a monkey place in Bali. And they were, you know, they're so cheeky. You know, I was told, don't carry plastic bags with you because they think there's food in there. And they crept, I was sheltering from the rain in this little hut thing. And I just sat down and they just creep up out of nowhere. One of them just grabbed my camera bag. So I turned around and I said, put that down. He glared at me. He bared his teeth out. And the next minute, his mate came along as reinforcements. And you know, it took a couple of people to get that bag back from him.
Oh, they can turn so quickly. I did a thing when myself and Nick Dean were travelling around, and we went to Lopburi, which is famous for its monkeys, you know, and I had a little backpack on, and for some reason I'd put one of them head torches in, and it was quite an expensive one, you know. I think it cost about 70 quid, you know. It was a real high tech one that I bought in England, and the monkey just got in the back, just unzipped my thing and just got it, and just, you know, it just ran up the side of the building and was just sort of laughing at me like as it chewed it to bits, you know.
I mean, if you have a bloody expensive iPhone or whatever, one of them bastards runs away. Carl, what I'm going to do, there's plenty of people in the chat here, so I'm going to pick out questions that people are asking you. People want to ask you. So if you want to ask Carl any questions, by all means. So let's pick this one out. Wolves View. Will you ever do the Philippines, Carl?
I've been to the Philippines quite a few times. You know, I first went to the Philippines about the turn of the century. I think, one of my mates got married there in 2001, 2002. And the last time I was there was 2017. So, I really like the Philippines, you know, and you know, I mean, if the channel sort of ever generated enough interest that I could afford to do that, extend my travels, I would, you know. I mean, I'd love to get back to the Philippines. I mean, there must be some incredible traveling there, all them islands. Absolutely. With the Philippines, it's mixed reviews. Some people have said that our islands are beautiful and it's wonderful. Other people have a bad attitude towards the Philippines. You know, some people are put up by dog poo and all this kind of stuff, and you know, the third world aspect. I've been to the Philippines twice.
What first time was about 20 odd years ago, and I must admit, bearing in mind I've been to a lot of other South American and countries, I felt quite nervous of the Philippines because I heard, reports that, the Filipino lads will surround you in a bloody shopping mall and put a knife in his head.
I mean, it takes a bit getting used to seeing security guards at hotels with machine guns, right? Yeah, that takes a bit getting. I've never had any bother there though, and I've had some good experiences. I remember once I went down to Leyte, one of the islands, when my friend got married, and the people were just so friendly there. And the place was beautiful, it looked like Phuket, just miles of coastline with palm trees anywhere. No, I'd love to get back to the Philippines and explore it.
My second visit there a few years ago was far, far better. But one thing, the streets are not as, and I'm going to say that because it's what I genuinely believe. But I don't think the streets are as safe as in Thailand. I can walk around Thailand, Bangkok, Pattaya, various other places at night time. When I was in problem in the Philippines, I found the sellers are a lot more aggressive, and that's the way it's my own first personal experience. Actually, there was someone, I think it was Yogi Bear, who comments. And I think he was in Baker Street the other week, and there was a shootout. He was involved in a shootout in Baker Street in Manila. So it's a little bit more dodgy, that one. But I'm sure the Philippines has got some great places to see. So,
sure. I'll tell you the country I really want to get back to, where I've actually spent a lot of time, is Cambodia. I really... I'd love to explore that properly. I mean, in the past 6-7 years, I've spent about 2.5 years in Cambodia. And I first visited Cambodia in the 90s, in 96, and I went back in 97. And I went there quite a few times up until 2005. And then I didn't go back there for about 9 years. And then I went back there, but it was just... I really like it. I was really beginning to get into Phnom Penh, and unlike what most people say, I preferred Phnom Penh the last time I was there, like 3 years ago, to what it was in the 90s. Like everyone, it must have been great in the 90s.
What struck me about Cambodia, and that's another one I heard, not good things about it, but that's one of the last countries that I actually visited in Southeast Asia. But what struck me there was the people are second to none. There's such fantastic people there, the characters that you meet. I mean, because you grew up in, if you can remember the days of the Pol Pot and all the horrifying.
Sure.
It was a bit of a scary word, but then when you go there and you find the people are just so friendly and funny, and Cambodia's a wonderful place. I don't think in terms of its landscape, it has the same to offer as what Thailand would.
No, that's true. I don't think they got. Thailand's always been very fertile, and they got their irrigation worked out very well earlier on. Perhaps not so much in Cambodia. I know what you mean. Yeah, Cambodia does suffer as a travel destination because of the infrastructure. Yeah. When I was living in Phnom Penh, if you wanted to go away somewhere and you only had a few days, your options were very limited for that reason. But that's one place I'm just itching to get back to. Loved it there.
To be honest with you, I've always loved Cambodia for years. Absolutely loved it for years. I love Phnom Penh, Siem Reap's still a lovely little town. Sihanoukville has gone down the Swanee River, but what I must admit though, I couldn't help thinking the last time that I seen Cambodia, especially Phnom Penh, was that I'm seeing all these skyscrapers going up and all these diamond islands, and on the one hand it looks like it's developing, getting richer, but I thought the poorer areas look even poorer now than they did last time I see them. It's
you've got the contrast, haven't you? But Phnom Penh has really started shooting up. I used to stay at a hotel, and just over a period of like a couple of years, I used to have a great view, a skyline over Phnom Penh from the balcony, and it just over the period of a couple of years, it just got blocked out. Incredible, but I can't wait to get back there.
Yeah, me too. I will visit Cambodia again. Okay. Any other questions for Karl here? Somebody said, Spicy Rhodes. I've met Spicy Rhodes. I met Spicy Rhodes in Cambodia. He's an American chap. Nice to hear from you, mate. Spicy Rhodes says, I stayed at a nice place on Koh Samui for a month for 6,000 baht plus electricity. 6,000 baht. I've forgotten what that is. What is
150 quid?
140.
Yeah, 140, 150 quid. I know what I used to pay. It's on my video. I used to pay 40 baht a night. So you calculate that. They might even be less. I don't know, but it was,
They were the days. Anyway, here's somebody. Anders Bergman is here. Okay, Stephen O'Connor. Stephen O'Connor is a English teacher. He lives in Phnom Penh, and I actually met him when he was out there. Nice to hear from you, Steve. What time is about 7:30 in the evening where you are now, something like that. It's about 7:30. Nice to hear from you, Steve. Now, Steve loves Cambodia and Phnom Penh, and it was great to meet him when he was out there. And he's very, very positive about the place anyway. So nice to hear from you, Steve. If you want to tell us anything what's happening in Cambodia right now, feel free to do so. Popcorn is here.
Oh, Popcorn, yeah. I bumped into Popcorn on Soi Buak Hao.
Yeah.
A month or two back. See, I remember.
Oh, well, great guest to have on. Karl has genuine respect for Thailand and shows more than bars and nightlife. Now, this is the big issue, because one of the reasons that I love Karl's channel is because, I mean, some of us, I think we all have a bit of adventure in us, but some people can bring it out, and some people will think, I'll never bring it out. It's beyond me. But it shows more than bars and nightlife. I mean, this is it. This is one of the problems I have with Thailand right now, especially YouTube videos. Another walk down Soi Buak Hao, another walk down and I've done some of this stuff myself personally. YouTube's still, it's the same old, and that's why a channel like Karl's is much needed, really, because come and take a look at it. Look at the big country out there. And if you want to know, there's not that many channels who would explore in the country, especially the way Karl does. So yeah, it's more than just bars and night. I find bars and nightlife, after a while, it all on YouTube, it all seems to look the same, really. It all seems to look the same.
Well, no, I mean, there's a demand. Yeah, I mean, I've got nothing against it. I mean, sometimes, if I've got a bit of money to burn, I enjoy Pattaya myself. I've got nothing against it. I love Pattaya. I think Pattaya is great, but there is more. But there's just so many people doing it, like you say, and it just doesn't. It doesn't inspire me, to just sort of like.
Yeah, me too. It's also a problem. Problem, Karl. You've got to be realistic with regards to YouTube. Now, YouTube's very different now than it was when I started watching maybe 10, 15 years ago. Remember the wonderful Bangkok 112? Everyone remembers Bangkok. He made the most amazing videos. He never showed his face, but the most amazing videos of girls and nightlife and intimate scenes and all that. You can't really do that now. I mean, for one thing, it's voyeuristic, and for another thing, he was invading other people's space. He was spying on people, basically. He got up to about 1 million subscribers and hundreds of millions and all that kind of stuff. And we all watched it because it was voyeuristic. It was great entertainment. But that's not YouTube. YouTube does not want you show scantily clad girls in this day and age. And if you keep doing that, sooner or later, you come unstuck. So that's why, I mean, if you're just going to go out and film scantily clad girls, as a lot of the guys do, you're on a road to getting demonetized and getting banned from YouTube, really. So
yeah, things are really changing. I mean, I had it happen to one of my videos that it demonetized. I mean, God knows what was wrong. It was just one of them ones where they got me old pictures from the 80s, and I went back to some of the locations. And we're, talking about events that happened and memories and how the place had changed, and I don't know, the algorithm took offense to something. So they are getting very, very trigger happy.
I've only had a warning from there. I've never had a strike or anything like that, but I've had a video taken down and thumbnails taken down. And really, I don't blame my video that got taken down. I mean, you've been to the Philippines. Did you ever go to Scorebird's pool party? Angeles City?
Oh, no, I did go to a pool party in Angeles City once. I think it was down by, it might have been Kokomo or somewhere like that.
Yeah. Well, I done 3 videos in there. The first one, it's on my channel now, parts 1 and 2. They've been on my channel for years, not a problem. But the third video that I done, I was so proud. I thought this is the best, because there was a bit of a story to it as well. Cheeky girl. I mean, cheeky girl came on and she was pulling her knickers up her ass and all kinds of stuff. And also the wet t-shirt girls.
Right, yeah.
And it lasted about half an hour on YouTube. And when I uploaded it, I said, wow, that's the best video here. That is your best video ever. I really enjoyed that one. Half an hour later, YouTube intervenes and slap wrist. You did that and they took the video down, and I've never been able to show it since. And I've still got the video somewhere, but it was. But at the end of the day, you've got to be realistic. Another video that I had taken down was also in the Philippines, and what I just noticed is that there is, people will click on a video if they see a nice ass in a thong. I've seen videos like that. You show a nice, womanly red.
I've done it once
with a thong, and sometimes people seem to click on that. And I was in the Philippines, and I in Subic Bay, I believe it was, and I met a nice lady. I phrased that. Met a nice lady, brought her back to the hotel, and the next morning I took a few videos and whatever, and I got a cracking shot when she's looking in the mirror and cracking shot, and I put it on the. I used it on the thumbnail. And God, it was just an ordinary video, but it got got a lot of views, almost 300,000 views, because of that thumbnail. Because of that thumbnail. But then, a couple of months later, all of a sudden, YouTube took it without even asking me, took the thumbnail down and replaced it with one of my face. My face, very, very different. I'm not protected or anything, because. But the thing is, there are some people, there's some massive YouTubers out there who are not really anything special, but they got where they were simply because they were using pictures of their girlfriend in, their girlfriend's ass, And,
do you know what? I'm just in two minds about it. A lot of them do it, but it's successful. What can you say to that? I do what works. If anything, sometimes I feel stupid for not doing it. It's just kind of like. But my fear is like I did a couple of Pattaya videos a couple of years ago, or a year and a half ago, and they did really well. Probably still the most successful videos my channel has had, but I just stopped it there because I just thought, that's it. People are going to expect that kind of Pattaya content from me, and then that's what I'm going to be. And I'd have probably been more successful by doing it that way. But it just, I don't know. Yeah, I'm stubborn. That isn't what I want to do. So I don't mind doing a bit of that once in a while if I've got something to say.
Yeah, but I mean, I learned the lesson. At the end of the day, it's YouTube. It's not porn. But Dixie Normus is a good question. How long did it take Karl to learn fluent Thai, and the best way to do it?
Oh man, there's so many different answers to that question. One would be like I'm still learning. Like I call myself conversationally fluent. When I'm talking with Thais, I can say everything I want to say. I can, understand them. But if you get on the subjects that are a bit specialist, if you're talking about you're listening to the news or politics, you've got a whole, you've got to learn the Ministry of the Interior and things like that. So the grammar's all right, but sort of names for things I don't. So the answer to the question is some ways I'm still learning, but I think. To get good, I'd probably say if you're dedicated to, I'd say a couple of years. It's possible to do it quicker. Some people, especially youngsters, if they're really kind of determined and they put themselves to it, they can learn it. But I think the best way to learn is just do a little bit every day, and just don't. That way you don't get bored with it, and you're not sort of pushing yourself too much to remember a lot. So it was really. I am quite proud of that I learned it, and also, it was a lot. It was a harder decision to make back then than it is now, you know, in the sense that when I decided I wanted to learn Thai was after my second visit in 1988. So I went back to the UK to see what my options were. And there was a Linguaphone, which in the 80s, the Linguaphone course was over 200 quid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You know, and I sort of, you know, it was nice, books and cassettes, but I just think what people have got at their fingertips now, you know, the YouTube alone, you can learn for free. You can get apps on your telephone, you know, and I just like, do you know, I was determined to learn, and I loved it. You know, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I've never learned Thai. I tried to learn Spanish once, and I thought I'd mastered a bit of it. But when I got to South America, they just, you know, looked at me blankly. Okay, you know, I don't give up. Stephen O'Connor from Phnom Penh is back. Phnom Penh used to be like the Philippines, armed police around a lot, but very different nowadays.
Yeah, it was. I can remember, you know, it in the, you know, in the 90s. In 96, I got pictures of me and my friend. We wanted to travel from Siem Reap back to Phnom Penh. Yeah. And they didn't want us to get on a bus. And they said, no, to come with us. And they fixed it up for us to go in this big Russian military helicopter. You know, I mean, it was big enough to fit a bloody tank in. I've still got a couple of pictures of us and me. We got in this. It was like Apocalypse Now. You know, this thing had to cruise along the runway to gain height. You know, it couldn't just go straight up. And absolutely incredible experience. But yeah, back then, Pol Pot was still alive. The Khmer Rouge was still functional as a guerrilla group. You know, they weren't in charge of the country, but they were in charge of parts of it, especially at night time. So yeah, you know, the vibe has changed totally. You know, if you used to go. Back in the day, if you used to go to the original Martinis, which was miles out of town, it was quite. No, you could be stuck up by the police. You know, at gunpoint. Yeah, it didn't happen to me. I did used to get pulled for a few dollars here and there, but you know, it used to go on. It could be a dangerous place back then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Karl'S Cambodian, not said on a land. Yeah, Rusty Led. Rusty Led lives. I've seen him in Pattaya. He's American.
Yeah. I know Rusty.
On Tuesday, and I think the only danger I've encountered in Cambodia on my last visit was being followed by a bloody lady boy, and you know. Oh Jesus Christ! Enough. Actually followed into the hotel. There was no security.
Do you know? I had a crazy experience there once about 7-8 years ago. You know, I just had some lady latch onto me. You know, she was big and she was following us everywhere. You know, we jump on tuk-tuks and she'd come. And in the end, we went into a bar just to get rid of her because we thought, you know, like if we go into a bar, they won't want other girls coming in the bar and they'll get rid of her. You know, so I went into the bar and she just followed us in. And so in the end, I went out to one of the tuk-tuk drivers and I just sort of like, he was quite a big tuk-tuk driver. I said, look, you know, like, here's $7 which is a fortune for him, you know, I said, here's $7 go out and get that girl and take her home, you know. And he didn't. He went up and just gave her the $7, which she used to sort of buy drinks.
Jesus Christ. Somebody here is in Kampot, Cambodia, is preaching the.
I love Kampot.
I went to Kampot on my last visit. First time I've ever been. I went there because obviously Chinookville was somewhere I didn't fancy this time. But I tell you what about Kampot. I mean, when were you last there in Kampot?
I was last there 3 years ago. It was the last time I was in Cambodia. You know, back in the day before 2017, we all used to go if we wanted a trip out from Phnom Penh. It used to be Sihanoukville, and then just be quite blunt, people stopped going to Sihanoukville and they started going to Kampot instead. So Kampot is really, that's the weekend destination now.
Also, some of the expats in Vietnam, because Vietnam's become a bit awkward with the visas nowadays. Some of them have moved to Kampot, and it's also for the I think I spent a week there in Kampot on my last visit. I've never ever met such a really enthusiastic bunch of expats. The expats who I met there were the British, other countries, America, whatever. they really think they made a wise decision moving to Campo, because it is a very, very likable.
Yeah, I've got a couple of very good friends who live there right now. You know, yeah, no, I can understand. It's very appealing, very chilled, a bit hippie. You know, you've got the Bockhall Mountain if you want to get out and get the wind through your hair.
Yeah.
You know, did you go up there, Ed, when you were there?
I didn't. I think it was Christmas and New Year week when I was there. I had a bit of a lazy time, really. I'd never been there before. I probably should have done more, but it was a nice week. I never actually made it there, but I stayed in a hotel which is a little bit of a way away from the town. And as for the town centre, I thought the town was a little bit scruffy. You know, it's a little bit too much rubbish in these places around. But you're spoiled for choice with bars and restaurants. You're spoiled for choice. It's actually a very, very likable town, Kampot. Really, really likable town.
I call it salt and pepper town because it's famous for salt and pepper.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, spicy roads. I agree. Cambodian people are second to none. Yeah, I met some great people there. Yeah, let's see. Stephen O'Connor. All those skyscrapers and condos in Phnom Penh are built by the Chinese for the Chinese. They are way beyond the price of the locals. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I visited Diamond Island last time. This complex where it looks like, Paris. I mean, big condo buildings, and they're quite spectacular. It looked like a bit of a ghost town, really.
When I was last there, I mean, I've lost track on it really because I haven't been there for a few years. But when I was last year, the Khmers were turning on the Chinese a bit. I remember a load of them got kicked out, because they were having problems with casinos being set up, and they were only employing Chinese people and some scam centres and things. So there was a lot going on. Yeah, there was a lot of investment went into Cambodia from China very quickly. Yeah. And I don't know what the situation is now, but I know a few years ago they sort of, I think they'd had enough.
Yeah. I'm going to grab a quick drink for 2 seconds.
You go for it, Ed. You go for it. I'm trying to think. What would I like to do for my next adventure? Where would I like to go? I suppose Cambodia would have to be it, really. I'd love to do a bit of jungle hiking in Cambodia, but it's not like Thailand where you got the national parks and they got trails you can follow. But I reckon could get some real good content in Cambodia. I mean, there's so many places that aren't reported on. They haven't got vloggers running around everywhere yet. In fact, I don't think Paddy Doyle's got there yet.
Yeah.
So, I could be wrong. But yeah. Cambodia's got to be pretty high up there.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Carl. Because I'm back in England, I've been here for a few months now, and I've been doing things, and I've been off the beer and whatever. I made a video last week about enthusiasm, for travel and whatever. It's not there, but talking to you, all of a sudden my enthusiasm is flooding back again.
Yeah, me too, Ed. I think that's something we both share. I can remember bumping into you one day last year. I was on Second Road and my backpack on, and I'd just come back for one of my trips, and I remember you saying, "That's what I want to do, Carl. That's me. That's what I really do." And then you were saying, "I'm not a manga vlogger. I don't want to be a manga vlogger." But then I went back and I looked at your YouTube channel and saw the title of your biggest viewed video was something like, Phnom Penh, how much? Well,
what's the saying? It is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Carl, let me tell you, I've said this before on this channel, but about a year or so into my YouTube venture, I almost gave up because I wasn't getting anywhere. I thought, I gave up. I'm trying because my video attempts weren't particularly good. I wasn't that good with a camera or nothing. And I thought, what the hell? Just sit in a bloody chair at home and tell people what you know, and don't care about the consequences. Who cares? Because my channel's not going anywhere anyway. No one's ever. If I make a video or a couple of videos about how much for a bit of how's your father in Cambodia, So what? No one's ever going to see the videos. No one's going to see them. So what's the what is so go and make these videos and then put them out there. And so what? I could appear naked in these videos, and no one would even see these videos. No one would see these videos. So I'll put these videos out there. And the next thing I know, they're getting bloody millions of views. Oh, Jesus. Crazy. What have I done? What have I done? Jesus, what have I done? What have I done?
It's good though. I mean, it's fun, you know. I'll tell you what. I mean, it's kind of nice, you know. Still, quite often I'll go into town, and you know, my channel is far from being a big YouTube channel, you know. But I go into town quite often, get recognised. You know, people come up and say hello, and you know, I think it's really cool. You know, just
I'd like to be known for you know, doing adventure travel and all, but I think people know my channel for you know the guy who you know drinks a lot of beer on the streams and talks about, you know, how much for a bit of rumpy pumpy and all the rest. I don't know how people will react when I get back into making videos on a regular basis. If I'm walking along a beach in like Wahin or whatever, I'm not drinking a cold beer. But then again, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. We don't want to talk about beer. I'm actually drinking sparkling water there. Would you believe it?
Brilliant. We will have to do it, Ed. Next time you come out, mate, we'll do something. You know, we don't. It doesn't have to be. We don't have to hike for miles. You know, I know places like that place we were talking about earlier with the statues at the top. I mean, the stairs are steep, mate. But I mean, if you walk for a few minutes and then stop, you'll be up there in 30 minutes.
I can do stuff like that, but I've got to be in the right frame. I have done a little bit of stuff like that. I remember one of my, you know, in Costa Rica, I actually hiked across a national park in Costa Rica. Although I thought their landscape was a bit overrated, really. I mean, some of the landscapes you're going on in Thailand actually look more exciting than what something like Costa Rica is got.
I think it's just that's the thing with Thailand is you know, like it's so many tourists go there and they've only got a limited amount of time, but there's just so many places in Thailand. I'm still finding them that just blow your mind. You know, you just
absolutely
just
about Isan. I mean, I haven't spent really much time in Northern Thailand. I've
spent a lot of time in Isan, a lot of time. You know, I first lived in Isan. I first went there in 1989 when the Ubon Ratchathani, and I lived there in 1990, 91 when I used to work at Khao Yai National Park. So you know, I mean. People say real Thailand. I mean, it's all real. I've seen it.
Well, Isan man who comes on here, and he's a Facebook friend. He knows all the details of Isan, and he sends wonderful information on Facebook, whatever. He might even appear on this channel one of these days to tell us all a bit about it. But I think for my next trip to Thailand, I will be heading that way, Northern Thailand. I've been to Chiang Mai.
Mate, I know some nice spots, Eddie. Let me know where you go, and I'll give you some places to check out. You know what I mean? I wouldn't.
I think what it is. What put me off last time? I visited a couple of rural sort of towns, and I have to be honest. I found some of the rural towns to be a little bit teensy-weensy on the dull side. A couple that I've seen, but
sure.
If you actually venture out into the countryside, I mean, I was in Sukhothai. Do you know that place?
No, Sukhothai, yeah.
I went cycling around the temples there, and that was one of the best days that I ever had. Absolutely wonderful. And Chiang Mai, I've been to Chiang Mai 3 times, and I think I need to see a lot of the places that are close to Chiang Mai. I spent too much time in the town centre, and really I should go to a place like Pai and Chiang Rai and whatever. I need to go to those places, really.
Oh, you'd love it. You know, I don't know what you like on a motorbike.
Yeah. I'm scared. I don't do them.
Right. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, Thailand ain't the best place. But it's, you know, there's some beautiful bike riding up there.
Yeah.
If you enjoy it. And you can just you don't have to get anything flash. Just sort of like these days they do any scooter automatic scooter over like about 200 cc's up will do, you know.
Yeah. Stephen O'Connor, problem with Phnom Penh for the tourist is it's such a small city with limited tourist attractions. It can easily be seen in a day or two, unlike many major cities nowadays that offer a lot more. Well, yeah, for Phnom Penh is not a particularly big capital city. Not a cap. I mean, Vientiane in Laos. I mean, that doesn't even look like a capital. That looks like a town. That does. But Phnom Penh, in comparison to Bangkok, Phnom Penh's a much smaller city. But it's the riverside nightlife area that's wonderful about it. It's still good, but a few places in Phnom Penh I thought had played out, especially 51 Street. That used to be full of character and all kinds of stuff going on. But it's
sure.
Yeah. Let's see. Gemini Star. Karl's channel is definitely informative. Okay, thanks for that. Donald Trump. Yeah, you got the president of the United States here. Donald Trump, the local president. Is
Good old Donald.
Yeah, your famous goal. DJ, I was stood behind Karl waiting for a BART bus. Okay, fair enough.
What did he say hello? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, he should have said hello. You know, I get people saying that sometimes. You know, leave messages. Oh, I saw you, but I didn't want to say hello. You know, people say, "Come say hello."
Now, let's see. Richard O, I think he was first in the chat here. Richard O, anyone flying out from Heathrow 13th of July on the Thai Air flight? If so, I'll be in London Pride Bar, Terminal 2, about 7:30 p.m. You want to join? But that's nice, isn't it? I've never heard anyone commenting that before. He's flying out. If anyone's happens to be there. I don't give my whereabouts because I have a YouTube channel. Like you, I don't give my whereabouts when I'm flying somewhere. No way. I once considered waiting at Bangkok airport to do a live stream from there, but I thought, wait a minute, Ed, is that wise? There's got to be some idiot out there somewhere who's got bad intentions. And he's going to phone up Bangkok airport and say, that guy there, you know, you can guess the rest, can't you? You know, arrest him. He's planning on blowing the place up. You know what I mean? Next week, I'm surrounded by bloody armed guards pointing guns at him. Now, you've got, for security reasons, you've got to be careful, really. You know, I wouldn't advertise where I was at an airport. Let's see. Okay. So Stephen O'Connor's got some great info about Phnom Penh here. The old martini bar, police would stop you if you had a lady on the back of the bike. If it was a local, it was a $2 bribe. If it was a veil lady, charge you $10. Really? Do you know what? I never made it there. I was going to Phnom Penh, you know, and it's really when it was in full swing. And I heard about martini bar. I just never ever made it there out of laziness. Really, I thought
it went through 3 different incarnations, you know. But I only ever saw the original one. I went to the original one a few times. It was like a mad place, you know. They seem to have. I seem to recall they had like old style dancing, you know. I think they stopped at a certain time of night, but it was, you know, it was in the arse end of nowhere. You know, you were a bit worried. You were on the back of the motorbike. You were like, "Where's he taking me?" You know, it was a bit like that.
That's the reason I never went there. People say you got to go to Martini Bar. Why? I'm staying in a hotel in a riverside area. I know where the bars are, where there's some beautiful girls. Why would they want to get on a motorbike and go miles away to somewhere? You know, I don't know.
And in those days as well, most of Phnom Penh wasn't lit. You know, like it was just the main boulevard. So it was like that. It was potholed roads and very dark. And it could be a bit edgy once you got away from the centre.
Yeah. Ken Christopherson, great to see you guys together. Love you both. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Ken. Okay. Rusty Led. Vietnam is still limited to 30 days. Wish they would bring back some longer visas. You see, this is the worry that I've got about Cambodia. You know, Cambodia, people are saying, you know, the visa is really generous there. You stay there a long time. Well, didn't they used to say something similar about Vietnam? And then all of a sudden they had a complete U-turn. It seemed like to me that Vietnam was being tipped as the best place to retire in. And then the next, they're bringing in these limited visas, basically chasing all the expats.
Yeah, they've always been, you know, Vietnam. It's another place. You know, I've done a long association where I first went there in '96, the same year that I went to Cambodia the first time. But you know, it's always had that kind of military bit. You know, it doesn't surprise me at all. You know, look how they responded in the pandemic. I mean, it was just instant, wasn't it? You know, there was a. You know what I mean? It doesn't surprise me with Vietnam, to be honest. They'll always do what they want to do.
Yeah, but it seemed like a year or two. I mean, I remember about 10 years ago or so, people started saying Vietnam is the new Thailand. Nha Trang is going to be the new Pattaya. It's going to be this. No, it isn't. Nha Trang is just, it's not in the same level at all, really.
And they're just different people, aren't they? You know, they're different. You know, the Vietnamese tend to be a bit more business-like, a bit more strong-headed, you know.
Also, last time I was in Nha Trang, it's almost an exclusively Russian area. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but also the actual town centre where the bars are of Nha Trang is grim. It's in fact, when you're there in the centre, you don't really feel like you're at a beach resort.
Last time I was there was 2002, so I haven't seen Nha Trang for 20 years. But yeah, it can't. You know, I even get annoyed with people saying, you know, Phnom Penh is like Thailand was 20 years ago. You know, like I saw them both 20 years ago. You know, I saw them both nearly 30 years ago. You know, there are similarities.
Yeah,
there are similarities, but you know, they've always been different. They've always had a totally different feel to me.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, really. I mean, I'm glad that there's differences between all those countries, because if they were all the same, it'd be dull, wouldn't it? I mean, Thailand is still very, very different, you know, than the other countries. Stephen O'Connor, Karl should go up northeast Cambodia, up at the border of Thailand. An Long Ven, Pol Pot's last and Prayer Ver Temple. Not many vloggers go there. Well, you know, I'll visit Cambodia again.
Yeah, no, really, you know, it's a good point, because I spent a lot of time there, and I kind of wish I'd have started my YouTube channel at that time, because it would have kind of pushed me to look. But yeah, the infrastructure. Yeah, some of them places, some of them national parks they got in the northeast Cambodia, Virachai and a few of the others, you know, I love all that, and I should imagine it would still be, if you went up there, they'd still be pleased to see you. You know, it's not like some national parks in Thailand where they've got your responsibility. I think they'd be really. You could probably get some really good adventures organised.
Yeah, but I think really, if you go, I think that's a place where I would be a little bit worried about landmines. I mean, if you stay off the beaten path too much in places like that.
But I mean, it could be a landmine, could be a snake, could be, you know, like, you know, like you just.
Yeah. Hey, I've got to include Paul Hoskin. I don't know if you're familiar with Paul Hoskin. He watches a lot. He watches a lot.
The name rings a bell, definitely.
Yeah, he's the master of the smutty comment. There you go. It's no fun if you don't go commando. he's the master of the double entendre. Nice to hear from you.
Actually, I'm going commando right now.
There you go, Paul. There you go. Paul Hoskin's a bad influence on people. Esan Man is here. Great to hear from Esan Man. He's a gold mine of information.
Oh, right. Yeah. The guy you were talking about. Just a bit
ago, for Cambodia. They had the French, then the Khmer Rouge, now the Chinese. What next? The Albanians. Oh, it's very, very nice. Are you aware, because you live in Thailand? I mean, are you aware of what's going on in Britain these days, Karl? I mean, do you know we've got a problem?
Oh God, you know, like I do get people saying to me, "Don't come back, Karl. There's nothing here for you." You won't, like, you know, you just sort of like, I keep an eye on it. You know, I keep an eye on it, and I just sort of see what I see on the.
But Britain is a public convenience for the rest of the world. It is. I mean, we've got these dinky people coming over in the thousands, and they go through phases. Sometimes they're from Eritrea, sometimes Iran tops the list. It's like the bloody Top of the Pops hit parade. Who's #1 in the dinghy divers this week?
I can see why people might get angry with that, because I mean they voted out of Europe, didn't they? And that was quite a bit of their motivation to try to control, and they did it, and it hasn't seemed to make much difference by the sound of it.
But the Albanians, they're not coming from an unsafe country. They're coming from a country where they're quite. It's probably crap their country to live in. But they're coming from a country where they're under no persecution or civil war or whatever. They're coming over to England for all the wrong reasons. They're coming here to form crime gangs. I
mean, you just can't blame people, can you? If we're stupid enough to open the gates, they're gonna come in, aren't they? Someone said to me, "Look, Karl, you can go over to Japan. You earn 4 times as much as you're earning now, and you feel I'll be there."
Yeah. Oh, I know, absolutely. I mean, Britain's stupid enough to let these, but we've surrendered our borders, and what it is, every politician is just another one who comes along saying, "This time we're really, 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 really going to do something about it," and then they get bloody thrown out for one reason or the other.
Does anybody listen to them anymore? I mean, we've had 3 years of it, and we listening to politicians.
I mean, the thing is, with regards to the immigrants coming, it's like shoveling shit against the tide. And that's basically what it is. Yeah. Who's this? Brian, what's up, Eddie? Can't wait to catch this episode later at work. Okay, that's good. A lot of people will watch this later on, which is really, really great. If you've just tuned in, we've been on for over an hour now. This is Karl'S Thailand. This is Steady Eddie's Travels. I used to have the crap channel name of Ed's. I don't even like saying that name. My name is crap. It's rubbish. How the hell that became my channel name, I don't know. But I've changed this now to Steady Eddie's Travels. Okay, and this is Karl'S Thailand. There you go, Karl'S Thailand. Karl here has got a magnificent channel where he explores the real Thailand. If you've got an adventurous spirit in you anywhere, check out Karl'S Thailand on YouTube.
And also, I do the adventurous stuff, but some of the videos I do look quite popular was like in the 80s and early 90s. I took a lot of pictures, and I've still got them. So I do, I do some videos that are very popular. I've done some in the past where I just sort of like look back and show me old pictures and that. So, I do, it is mainly adventure. Yeah, I do like to get out and about, but I reserve the right to sort of do other content when I want to,
Yeah, absolutely. Simon is saying, good afternoon, guys. Great guest, Eddie. Karl is a mind of information on the rural parts, other Farangs can't we? So that's the old that's the old bear. I can't remember what bear. It refreshes the parts other bears cannot read. Karl is the vlogger who reaches the parts other vloggers don't read. That's terrific. Nice to hear from you, Simon. Let's see. Okay. People keep mentioning, I think they're talking about Bangkok 112. I don't believe it. I don't believe he's back somehow. He posted an update on his website. Oh, he's updated his website. Okay, well, I believe that one is here. I believe that. Did you ever watch Bangkok 112?
No, like I said to you earlier, Eddie, I didn't really follow any Thailand YouTubers until I became a YouTuber myself. I was aware of a few of them, but I was aware of Kevin Thailand and so. But to be honest, some of them, even then, it just weren't for me because they were just sort of telling me stuff. Yeah, I knew really. I'd been coming here for a long time. Yeah. So no is the answer to your question. Yeah.
He became huge, and basically it was very, very voyeuristic, and he was fantastic with his cat. I mean, he could shoot, he could shoot intimate scenes and get away, but he was sneaky. I think that's sneaky. I mean, he'd film bloody people coming out of soapy massage parlors and all.
It's going to backfire, isn't it? You get away with that for so long, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So Yogi Bear is here. Nice to hear from him. I was talking about where Isan Man's comment. I'll just skip through to see if anyone else has got any questions for Karl. Yeah, let me see. Malos, Pattaya became the new Vung Tau if we go back to the Vietnam War. Okay, that's a strange place, Vung Tau. Have you ever been there? That's a very, very strange.
No, I never did get down to Vung Tau. You know, the coastal place. But the Vietnam War was really when Thailand started as well, wasn't it? You know, the old hotels like the Mami Hotel in Bangkok, the Malaysia hotels, and they were an R&R places. So
Oh, just say hello to Yoz Travels. Happy Father's Day, guys. Hope everyone's well. Now, Yoz is he's travelled a lot. He loves cruise ships, all kinds of stuff. But he's recently, I think he visited Thailand for the first time last winter time, and he's going back again. He's fallen in love with the place, absolutely. So good for him. Anyway, you may meet Yoz on your travels. You may well meet him on your travels.
I do know a guy called Yoz, but I don't know if it's the same Yoz.
Yeah, I think he likes Koh Samui a lot as well.
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay, let me see. A few more questions for Karl. How are we for time, Karl? We're been on for an hour, and is a mobile phone?
I don't know. You know, I'd have to look to see. So far, so good, Ed. But if it suddenly goes blank, my battery's conked out.
Okay,
on me, mate. So,
okay. We'll deal with the 5 minutes or so. This is a
go for it. Yeah, it hasn't flashed up actually. Normally, we get to 20%. It flashes up. So far, so good.
I'd like to do this is a good time because sometimes personally, when I do 3 live streams on the Steady Eddie Live channel, Steady Eddie Live channel, three a week, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays, and we talk about a variety of things, not necessarily travel. We talk about other things, but sometimes when you're doing a live stream, it's you yourself have to feel comfortable with it, and there's certain times of the day when you just don't feel comfortable. And one of the things, like Sunday afternoon around about this time, because Sunday's a bit of a dull day anyway. I'd like to do a regular live stream on this at this time anyway, on this travel channel, and also maybe get a couple of other guests on. One that I'd like to have on the show, if he'd agree to it, is Jeff Carter. Have you ever heard of Jeff Carter?
Yeah, I nearly named him earlier. He was one of the YouTubers that I had heard of. But then again, I might have watched 1 or 2 of his videos. I just didn't follow it.
Yeah. Funny enough, Rusty Lid, Kevin, and Jeff were my go-to for information on Thailand before I moved there. Yeah, I watched Jeff Carter for years. Really, I've got a couple of questions here. So drone shots. This is for Karl'S Thailand. Drone shots. What kind of drone do you use, if you don't mind me asking?
I've got an old Mavic 1, which was one of, it was a good drone when it came out about 5-6 years ago, and it used to belong to Kevin Thailand.
Really?
Yeah. Kevin Thailand gave it to Nick Dean, who passed it on to me.
Oh,
so there you go. There's a bit of pedigree. But the last trip, there's a friend of mine called Mal who bought a drone, a Mini 3 Pro, and he'd never used it. And he said, "Look, Karl, if you look at it and you can set it up, take it on your trip to Samui." So I did. And I did it because it's a smaller drone than my drone. But just because of technology's moved on, the camera on it is better, and it was really, it was nice. So usually it's an old Mavic Pro, but the last, my Samui videos, it's a Mini 3 Pro.
Yeah. Okay, I've never used a drone personally, because it's one that I try and keep my baggage down, my actual when I'm going out and about this. But some of those drone shots are magnificent. Around the Christ or the Buddha that you showed on the mountainside and all that. Wonderful stuff. So let me see. Okay. Anything else? One more question. Another question. Yeah. So cameras. What kind of camera do you use?
Oh God, it's easy. That's a hot spot. That's a sore spot. That is. I've been using an iPhone 12 Pro. I've been using an iPhone 12 Pro. A couple of weeks ago, I bought an action cam as well. Got a DJI Action 3 because it also shoots in a video format called HDR, which is what I like. Which is what I like videoing. But the weekend before last, my iPhone 12 Pro went missing, and I haven't got it back.
Oh my God.
And if I tell you where it went missing, I probably won't get a lot of sympathy. Do you know what? I hadn't been in a go-go bar for ages, and a mate of mine was down. He said, Carl, let's go. I said, all right then, Brian. All right, we'll do it.
Jesus.
Ended up in the windmill, and I ended up leaving, and my phone didn't. So at the moment, I'm using now like a very old iPhone that doesn't record HDR. So at some point, I'm going to have to sort of look to upgrading it again. Yeah. But iPhones.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've never had an iPhone. I've got a what is it? I can't remember what it's called. An Oppo Reno 4, which
right.
It does the best. On certain lights, it takes better pictures than others, but it does the business anyway. But I mean, the idea of having the top of the range iPhone Pro Max and whatever the latest model, they may be great, they may be terrific, and I've seen how some of them operate, but the thing is, if you get thieves are not stupid. They can spot an iPhone that costs well over £1,000 from a distance, and it's too tempting, really, when you're wandering around with something like that. So I paid.
And actually, it's the one negative thing I will say, comparing like Phnom Penh against Thailand or Pattaya, is the one that is the snatch and grab thieves. I mean, I've had 3 attempts to grab iPhones off me over a period of about 5 years. 3 attempts, all of them were unsuccessful, as it happens. But you have got to have your wits about you with your property a bit more in Phnom Penh.
I was in a complex, the Golden Soraya Mall in there.
I know it, yeah.
I think it's all demolished now. It's all demolished now. But it was funny.
Yeah. They changed it about 4 years ago, didn't they?
Skanks there, skanky girls, they're all full of skanks. It was a funny place. But
it was a real people watching place, wasn't it?
I never had any weird stealing anyway, so it didn't bother.
Yeah, it was an afternoon spot. All the expats would gather there. It was a real cool spot. I used to like the GSM.
I know it was good. I used to call it Skanky Joe's. That was a good name. I mean, but there was once I got what are they called? Not a tablet. What's the other one? It's an iPad. An iPad. And I got this old iPad out of a second-hand shop. It was worth about 20 quid. That's when I got it around 20. But it was good. And when it was linked into Wi-Fi, I got good pictures and everything got it. And I actually took it in a little plastic holder. I took it to Skanky Joe's and I got the Wi-Fi password. And I was watching videos on it and stuff, and and all that while I was having a cold beer of an afternoon at that complex. And I just turned around, and there was a young fella, and he was just looking at me. He was just staring at me. I think I had my headphones on at the time. I was listening to music, YouTube on.
Yeah.
I looked around, I thought he's waiting for the right moment to pounce and grab this. But I smiled and I thought, mate, what you don't realise, this isn't brand new. This is worth about 20 quid. You're not going to get much money for it anyway, and I'm not going to be much of a loss on you.
It was prolific there. I can remember one night I was at the end of 2019. A friend of mine used to help manage a few bars at the weekend on 130, and I was covering for him. He had to go back to England, and I was covering for him. And I just remember walking home one night. I can't remember, is it Street 5, the one that goes past Candale Market, and I was walking back from 130 to 172. Yeah. And there was as you go past the market, it's very dark and there was nobody around, and I could hear a motorcycle. I was a bit drunk, I had a few drinks. I could hear a motorcycle coming up behind me, but it slowed down, and that I was alert enough that got my attention. So I had my iPhone just by my side, so I held onto it tightly, and they pulled up next to me, and one of them tried to knock it out of my hand. But I just managed to resist it. But I got really mad and I got really angry. Yeah. And when they realised I weren't going to get it, they went off on the motorcycle, and I started chasing after them. And they looked around like they were going to turn back, and I just think, what the hell would you have done if they'd have turned back, Carl? There's 2 of them. There's absolutely nobody around. You know what I mean? But Yeah, it's definitely wits about you. But
Yeah.
but then again, I don't ever feel tense there. It's very hard to explain. You know, it sounds contradictory saying you've got to keep an eye on your things, but I don't. It hasn't got that aggressive feel to it that we were talking about, like with the Philippines. You know, it just I don't feel that.
Yeah. Funny enough, when I was in Siam Reap last time, and Siam Reap's generally a safe place, but I did have this Oppo on a selfie stick. I did have that there, and I was walking down Siam Reap. I was walking on the opposite side of the road in the traffic, and I did glance, and there was a motorcyclist, and he's trying to push. And I did what works, keep your wits about. I clocked him. I looked right at them. Hi, mate. How are you? But I clocked him. As if to say, I know.
Let him know that you were onto him. Yeah.
You're not going to surprise me. I know that you're there. And then he sort of scared. But that was an attempt to snatch the phone. Definitely. Okay, I'm going to ask one more question before we finish, because your iPhone must be maybe the battery's gone.
I'm surprised it's my old one. The screen's cracked. I'm surprised it's lasted as long as it has.
Okay. So final, and this is a big question. I'll just see if let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to mention Yo's travels. The next trip will be my third in 12 months to Thailand. I love Thailand now. I definitely will be visiting more of Southeast Asia, but sounds like none compared to Thailand. Well, Thailand's still the numero uno, but Southeast Asia, Vietnam, Cambodia, you've got to see them, Got to see them. Well worth a look. So anyway, final question for Karl'S Thailand. Excuse me. If you've just tuned in, Karl'S Thailand, it's up there on the screen. Remember the apostrophe as well, by the way. Karl'S Thailand, great YouTube channel. He reaches the part of Thailand which other vloggers don't. Great big scale, big adventure stuff. I watch your videos on my big TV, by the way, Karl, because it's a big adventure. That's the best way to see it. So anyway, final question. How would you sum up your channel?
Different.
Different. Well, that's good enough.
I don't know. Yeah, different. Yeah, just adventurous. Just me. I just do what I want to do. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to end up like a slave to the algorithm where everything I'm doing is playing to the algorithm, so the channel will be a success. I want to do what I want to do.
Okay,
which is just want to show people like that. This is what's out there. Like even if it's not your thing, not everybody wants to sweat the bollocks off going through a jungle or going up a mountain. I can understand there, but I can understand that. But like it's if you want to see something a bit different.
Yeah, and also I think with the it's also there's the vicarious way, because don't forget some people who want to travel and do the bit of adventure may not be physically capable of that, and also you're showing that the older guy, and you're not as old as I am, but you're not far off. The older guy also can climb mountains and do the adventure stuff. It's not necessarily you don't have to be a young SAS man to do it. You can. The older guy can also get out there and have a bit of adventure.
Yeah, your fitness comes so quickly. If you start doing the right things.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, if ever I, do a little bit of that, I don't think I can keep up with you, Karl. But
I get people say that, or does it, like it's, try next time you come out here, Ed, we'll do something. Honestly, like I mean, it will be, it'll be within your capabilities, and if you don't enjoy it, we won't even put it out. But you'd be surprised.
But it is a key to something though, Karl. In the past, all the places I've been, whether it's Latin America or Southeast Asia or whatever, I've done a day trip. I'll give it a clue. An idea. If you're in Phuket, Patong, if you want to do a day trip, an organised trip going around James Bond Island and all this kind of stuff, I'm picking you up at the hotel, to dropping you off at the hotel in the evening time. You can be talking maybe 13 hours overall, 12, 13 hours. Physically, I can't do that. I can't do a long day like that because I just can't do it. I can only really do half. It's a 12 or 13 hour day. It's too long for me now. I can book a 4 hour day. Fine.
You know, I know places you can be up there. Like I said, that place we were talking about earlier, you can be up there in 30 minutes, you know, an hour or so to look around. A few hours, you know, it's only just over an hour from Hua Hin.
Yeah, I think maybe 4 hours is about max for me. That's about max for me. So anyway, listen, Karl, you've been an absolutely great. We've been on for 1.5 hours now. Anyway, yeah. Christopher Walker. Okay, thought you were 21, Eddie. Yeah. Okay, 40 years ago maybe. Okay. So anyway, check out Karl'S Thailand. It really, really is a magnificent. If ever you've thought, and we've all thought about exploring Thailand, the mountains, the villages, the rural areas, the whole lot. We've all thought about it, but Karl's a guy who actually does it and shows you the script and gives great information about all of these places. Okay, check out Karl'S Thailand, one of the best Thailand YouTube channels that you're likely to see out there. Okay, so anyway, thanks for coming along, Karl. I'm going to say ta-ra now, because we've been on for 1.5 hours. Hopefully, if we can get other people, we'll maybe do a regular little live stream. Karl,
sure. No, I really enjoyed it, Ed, and I appreciate the support you give me channel. You know, because ever since we first met, you were sort of right onto it, and you know, and I appreciate the little comments you leave on the videos and that. Thanks a lot.
Okay, cheers. Anyway, so I'll say thanks for coming on. Anyway, I'm going to play it with one of my intros. I've got 3 intros now, a whole 3 intros. But if you want to keep commenting on the screen, we'll do. But I'll play my intros anyway. Okay. Thanks for coming along, Karl. Have a great day, and I'll see you again soon, mate. Cheers.
Thanks very much. Pleasure.
Okay. Okay, so there you go. That's Karl'S Thailand. Check out his YouTube channel. Very, very watchable. And watch it on a big screen, because it's big screen adventure. Okay? So anyway, steady. What am I doing now? What am I doing with StreamYards? Okay, so let me see now. Let me see. I'm going to say thanks for watching. I'm going to play out with one of my intros. I've got 3 of them. I'm going to play out with one of my intros. Don't forget the Steady Eddie live channel, which is on Monday, Tuesday, and Fridays at 9 p.m. UK time. We talk about things other than travel. We talk about a bit of travel, but also other things. Well, what's happening in the world anyway. So Steady Eddie live. If you haven't checked out that channel, please do so. Okay. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm going to have a Sunday dinner right now. Have a great day, a great evening, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.
Thank you.